Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Divedi and in this segment we bring to you objective questions to help you crack prelims. So let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. Consider the following statements. The endemicity is a stage where disease is always present in a certain population or a given geographical region. The epidemic refers to an outbreak of a disease and its spread through one or more populations. Chickenpox and malaria are examples of epidemics. We have to select the correct statement. Yes, when a disease is prevalent, now that is in certain population or even in a given geographical area, then the disease is said to be has entered into endemicity. And the second statement is also correct, that epidemic refers to an outbreak of a disease and its spread through one or more population. And when that spans throughout different geographical countries, it is referred to as a pandemic. But chickenpox and malaria are not the examples of epidemics. So the correct answer to this question should be 1 and 2. That is option B. Moving on. According to the World Health Organization, India seems to be entering some stage of COVID-19 endemicity, where there is low to moderate level transmission. We have discussed the first statement, so we shall move to the next. And we have discussed all of these statements. Let's move on to our next question. Consider the following statements. Panj Pyare is a concept and tradition founded by first Sikh Guru, Guru Nanak. The institution of Panj Pyare was established on the day of Baisakhi in 1699. We have to select the correct statement. The institution of Panj Pyare, yes, it was established on the day of Baisakhi in 1699. But it was propounded by the 10th Sikh Guru, Gobind Singh. Okay, so Guru Gobind Singh proposed this concept and not Guru Nanak. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is 2 only. Recently, former Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat apologized for comparing Punjab Congress Chief Navjot Sidhu and his 4 advisors to the Panj Pyare. Panj Pyare is a concept and tradition by 10th Sikh Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh established the institution of Panj Pyare while finding the Khalsa on the day of Baisakhi in 1699. Let's look at the next question. Consider the following statements. Employees Provident Fund Organization is administered by the Ministry of Labour and Employment. EPFO is a global organization that implements the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 1952. We have to select the correct statement. Both these statements are correct. The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Recently, the government has issued rules for calculating taxable interest on contributions to Provident Fund beyond rupees 2.5 lakh for cases where employer is contributing and rupees 5 lakh where employer isn't contributing. And EPFO is administered by Ministry of Labour and Employment. Also, the second statement is correct. So, the next question should be looked at. Which of the following railway station received 5-star Eat Right Station certificate by FSSAI? Chandigarh Railway Station, New Delhi Railway Station, Gandhinagar Railway Station, Mumbai Central Railway Station. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is Chandigarh Railway Station. Recently, Indian Railways Chandigarh Railway Station has been awarded a 5-star Eat Right Station certification for providing high-quality, nutritious food to passengers. The certificate is granted by FSSAI to railway stations adhering to standard food storage and hygiene practices. Moving on. Blue straggler, recently seen in the news, refers to which of the following? New epidemic declared in Africa, new frog species found in Western Ghats, new missile designed by Russia, or a class of stars. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is class of stars. Recently, Indian researchers have found that half of the blue stragglers, a class of stars in their sample, are formed through mass transfer from a close binary companion star. 1/3 are likely formed through collisions of 2 stars and the remaining are formed through interaction of more than 2 stars. Moving ahead to the next question. Which of the following component is or are used to measure gross domestic product? Personal consumption, business investment, government spending, net exports. We have to select the correct answer using the codes. So GDP, the computation of the economic activities within the geographical region of a country, takes into account personal consumption and investment, also net exports and government spending. So the correct answer to this question is option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Recently, the National Statistical Office data has revealed that the Indian economy grew at a record pace of 20.1% in April to June quarter of 2021 as compared to the corresponding period last year. The GDP data shows what is happening to the 4 engines of the economy. The economic growth in the economy, private final consumption expenditure, then comes investment, and government final consumption expenditure, net export. Okay, let's move forward. Consider the following statements with respect to Inner Line Permit System. An Inner Line Permit monitoring cell has been launched by Meghalaya. The DIG is the head of the cell. The software can also generate a predefined list of those who have overstayed their visa. We have to select the correct statement. So yes, an Inner Line Permit, this software has been launched by Manipur and not Meghalaya. And under that only we have the Inner Line Permit Monitoring Cell, of which the DIG is the head as the chairperson, and the software will also generate a predefined list of those who have overstayed their visa. So the correct answer should be option 2 and 3, that is option B, right? The Manipur Chief Minister virtually unveiled the ILP platform, which will allow the state's Inner Line Permit system to be more effectively regulated. The tracking system of EILP was launched by Manipur to address flaws in the procedures used to grant the permit and track its progress. An Inner Line Permit Monitoring Cell has been established with DIG of Intelligence as its chairman, and the software can also generate a predefined list of those who have overstayed their visa for more than the allowed number of days. Moving on to the next question, consider the following statements with respect to scrub typhus. It is a viral disease. It spreads through bites of larval mites of family Trombisulid, from which are also known as sugars. Vaccines are available for scrub typhus. We have to select the correct statement. Scrub typhus is a bacterial disease and not a viral disease. So the first statement is incorrect. It does spread through the bites of larval mites of family Trombisulid, okay, which is also called sugars. And vaccines are not available for scrub typhus. So the correct answer to this question should be statement B, that is option B. After deaths were reported in Agra, Firozabad, Mathura, Mainpuri, Etah and Kasganj districts of Uttar Pradesh, medical teams collected samples from the residents of Kuh village in Mathura district for further testing. The infection was detected as scrub typhus. Scrub typhus, also known as bush typhus, is a bacterial disease. It spreads through the bites of larval mites of family Trombisulid, also known as sugars. The symptoms are of fever, headache, body aches and sometimes rashes, and there are antibiotics and no vaccines available, but antibiotics are available. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements with respect to the World Coconut Day. This day started in 2009 on the day when the Asian and Pacific Coconut Community was founded. India is the third largest coconut producer, with Indonesia at the top. We have to select the correct statement. Both these statements are correct. The correct answer is option C. Every year, September 2nd is observed as World Coconut Day. This day was started in 2009. We have discussed the first statement. And on September 2nd every year, this day is organized to highlight APCC's policies and mark promoting this tropical fruit. India is the third largest coconut producer with Indonesia at the top. Consider the following statements with respect to Durand Line. This line is named after Sir Mortimer Durand, the British civil servant of the undivided British India. It was fixed at the same time as that of the Radcliffe Line. We have to select the incorrect statement. So, if we talk about the Durand Line, it was not fixed at the same time as that of Radcliffe Line because it is the 19th century legacy which was actually done in order to have Afghanistan as a buffer between the British and Russia. So, the second statement is incorrect, but the first statement is correct. The correct answer should be option B, as we had to select the incorrect one, that is B2 only. Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid told a Pashto channel in Pakistan that Afghans opposed the fence erected by Pakistan along the Durand Line. The Durand Line is a legacy of the 19th century Great Game between the Russian and British empires. Afghanistan was used as a buffer by the British against a feared Russian expansionism to its east. It was fixed by British civil servant Sir Henry Mortimer Durand and the then Afghan Emir Abdur Rahman Khan in 1893. Consider the following statements with respect to ZAPAD or ZAPAD 2021. It is a bilateral military exercise being held between India and Russia. The contingent from the Naga Regiment will take part as an all-arms combined task force for the exercise. We have to select the correct statement. ZAPAD 2021 is not a bilateral but a multilateral or multinational military exercise. So the first statement is incorrect. The second is definitely correct. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is 2 only. The Indian Army is all set to take part in ZAPAD 2021, a multinational military exercise being held at Nizhny, Russia from 3rd to 16th September 21. The ZAPAD exercise will include troops from Russia, Mongolia, Armenia, Serbia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan and Belarus as well. Few other countries will also participate in the exercise as observers or with HQ staff. Interestingly, a 200 personnel strong contingent of the Indian Army, primarily from the Naga Regiment, will take part as an all-arms combined task force for the exercise, which is one of the theatre-level exercises of the Russian armed forces. Moving on to the next statement. Consider the following statements. Algeria is a part of the Maghreb region. The Maghreb region borders the Mediterranean Sea. We have to select the correct statement. So, that's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.